You don't need a clear reason why you shouldn't be friends with narcissists. Can you be friends with a narcissist after everything you've been through? The short answer is a very firm no. And I know what you might be thinking. Well, it's fine. I know who they are now. I can handle it. I'll just stay a few steps ahead of them, keep my guard up, and I won't get hurt this time. But here's the thing. You can't outsmart the game, because the rules keep changing. Just when you think you've figured them out, they flip the script. Narcissists are loyal to no one. They don't care about real connection. The only thing they care about is what you can give them. Friendship, to them, isn't about love, trust, or support. It's a transaction. If they feel like they're getting the better end of the deal, they'll stick around. But the moment they think you're benefiting more than they are, they'll drain you dry and then walk away like you never mattered. That's the truth. Narcissists feed on supply. They crave attention, admiration, and the power of knowing they take up space in your mind. They don't see people as unique, valuable souls. They see people as opportunities, objects to extract energy, validation, and resources from. That's what they tried to do to you. Maybe they failed, maybe you caught on. But rest assured, it's what they are still doing to others right now. Recycling old victims or hunting for new ones who haven't figured them out yet. Now, let's talk about that we can still be friends card. Sometimes after a breakup, especially if it was romantic, they'll resurface with that suggestion. Hey, we don't have to be together, but we can still talk, still hang out, still grab lunch. Sounds innocent, right? But it's not. Most narcissists won't even say this outright. But when they do, it's never about friendship. It's about access. They know you're kind. They know you're stable, compassionate, reliable, the exact qualities they lack but desperately want to leech from. Pretending to stay friends keeps the door cracked open, letting them slip back in whenever they feel the itch for more supply. And here's the cruel part. They also know that if you agree to friendship, they're in control again. At any moment, they can cancel plans, ghost you, lie about why they didn't show up. Maybe they'll say they forgot, or that something urgent came up. Whatever the excuse, it's always about keeping you unsettled, keeping you chasing, keeping you doubting yourself. Think back to how much time you spent waiting for them to change, waiting for them to call, waiting for that text that never came. Think about the plans you made, the trips you paid for, the birthdays and holidays you looked forward to, the special moments you tried to create, only to watch them sabotage it all. That wasn't friendship. That wasn't love. That was control. That was abuse. And here's the good news. You survived it. You put yourself back together, or you're in the process of doing so. And now you know the truth. You can't be friends with someone who never saw you as a friend in the first place. You can't rebuild trust with someone who only sees you as a resource to exploit. A narcissist doesn't do friendship. They use friendship. And you deserve so much more than to be used. You know those times when you planned everything out for a trip? You knew the route you wanted to take, the scenery you wanted to stop and admire, the little cafe you were excited to try, the sights you were looking forward to. Everything was mapped out in your mind, and you just wanted to enjoy it. Now imagine bringing a narcissist along for that ride. Even from the start, they're sulking, acting like you dragged them away from something more important. That's already their first attempt to ruin your joy, twist the knife a little, make you feel guilty for simply wanting to share an experience. The second they're in the car, the games begin. Maybe they sit in silence, scrolling on their phone, humming loudly, or making little jabs. Why are you driving this way? Why is it taking so long? Did you even put gas in? Suddenly, you're no longer enjoying your trip. You're on edge. They've hijacked the energy. See, if you were traveling with someone healthy, it would be different. They'd be chatting with you, asking about the plans, enjoying the ride, being present. But with a narcissist, you become the chauffeur, the gas attendant, the cruise director, the planner, the pet, basically everything, while they sit back and criticize. And it doesn't stop when you arrive. So you get to the Airbnb, ready to settle in and relax. What do? Complain. This place isn't that nice. I've stayed in way better. Why this floor? Why isn't it bigger? Why is it noisy? Why don't the sheets look perfect? It never ends. They will always find a way to puncture the moment. That's why every holiday, birthday, vacation, or celebration with them feels ruined. They don't see those moments as opportunities to connect. They see them as opportunities to disrupt, to drain, to steal joy. And that's their pattern. Always. Let's shift back to friendships for a second. Maybe you were just a friend to the narcissist. But what happened? Over time, the betrayals piled up. They borrowed rides too many times, forgot their wallet at lunch too many times, leaned on you in emergencies that somehow always consumed your entire night. A quick call for just a few minutes stretched into hours of them unloading their drama while you sat there drained, your own plans destroyed. And the worst part, the second you tried to share something about your own life, suddenly they had to go. Their battery was charged, yours was empty. That's how it always works with them. Imagine two batteries. You're full, they are drained. In a healthy exchange, both get recharged. But with a narcissist, they suck you dry and leave you wondering what just happened. You're left reeling, doubting, exhausted, while they walk away energized, even smug. This isn't just bad behavior, it's an energetic theft. They chip away at your light, your joy, your essence, your very soul. And they know exactly what they are doing. That's why you can't be friends with a narcissist. Because for them, friendship isn't about connection, it's about access. Access to your energy, your love, your empathy, your time, your resources. And they'll take every bit they can until there's nothing left. Here's the truth. Being friends with a narcissist was never going to last. They knew it, even if you didn't. Maybe they stuck around until they got what they wanted, until you helped them with their career, until you introduced them to someone they could use, until they drained enough out of you and decided it was time to move on. That's how it always goes. And nobody is immune. Narcissists show up everywhere. At work, in organizations, in your neighborhood, on planes, trains, at restaurants. They blend in, but their patterns always reveal them. This isn't doom and gloom, it's reality. The point isn't to make you afraid, but to help you see clearly so you don't fall back into old traps. Because the games never stop. Narcissists will keep smearing your name. They'll keep competing with you, doubting you, using you, borrowing from you, and never paying you back. They'll disappear when you need them, but demand your time, energy, and money when it benefits them. And money, especially your money, is something they value more than anything else. Once it's gone, so are they, off chasing someone else with deeper pockets or more to take. That's why friendship with them isn't possible. They don't change, they decline. They get worse over time, not better. True self-reflection would be unbearable for them. Admitting their flaws, taking responsibility, facing themselves in the mirror, that would shatter the image they cling to. So they keep running, staying busy, collecting attention, chasing validation, juggling phones and masks just to keep up the illusion. And then, there's the aging narcissist. They are not an easy sight. They try to hold on to youth, copying the trends, clinging to charm, pretending they still have the magic. They'll boast about their travels, their education, their accomplishments, but it's all smoke and mirrors. Because as people grow wiser, more informed, and more empowered about what narcissism looks like, those old tricks don't work anymore. People recognize the signs now. They see the red flags. And slowly, they stop giving the narcissist what they crave most: attention, access, and control. The truth is, people are waking up. More and more, they are choosing not to engage with narcissists at all, not to call them out, not to seek revenge, not to expose them, and especially not to get dragged into the low-level games narcissists thrive on. Instead, they are choosing peace. They are learning that real strength isn't about fighting back. It's about refusing to play the game in the first place. On one end of the human spectrum, you have the toxic apex predator, the narcissist. And yes, there are people out there even worse than them. But right now, we're talking about the narcissist, the one who turned your life upside down, drained you, and tricked you into believing they loved you, cared for you, or wanted a future with you. That's the mask they wear, the lies they sell. On the other end of the spectrum, you have the empath, the kind, sensitive, giving soul. That's me. I make mistakes, lots of them. But at my core, I am kind, stable, and empathetic. And if you're questioning whether empaths really exist, think about this. Narcissists don't target just anyone. They target people with empathy, people with love, people who believe in goodness. They target the ones with rose-colored glasses who didn't yet know what narcissism was. That was you. And now you know better. Most people fall somewhere in between. Different shades of personality, just like different shades of skin, different eye colors, different voices. No two are the same. Your fingerprint is uniquely yours. And ironically, that's exactly what the narcissist tried to erase. Your identity, your spark, your light. And for a while, they succeeded. Until the mask slipped. Until you started to see them clearly. Or until they had drained enough from you and moved on to their next shiny new supply. That's why you can't be friends with a narcissist. The moment someone new comes along, someone they can take from, charm, or manipulate, that's where their energy goes. They collect people like little bubbles, a group for art and poetry 1 month, skiing and surfing the next, spirituality and meditation the month after that. They are always moving, always reinventing, always chasing the next fad. Why? Because they can't just be. They can't sit quietly in the forest, under the rain, in the sunshine, or even in their own thoughts. Stillness terrifies them, because stillness means facing themselves, and they will do anything to avoid that. So they keep running, keep fooling, keep using. That's their life. A constant hunt for distraction, validation, and control. Which is why friendship with a narcissist isn't just dangerous, it's impossible. They are, in every sense, a ticking time bomb. And you deserve so much more than living with that kind of chaos. You can't stay 1, 2, or 5 steps ahead of a narcissist. No matter how much you think you've studied their behavior, they will always switch tactics. The only real way forward is no contact, cutting them out completely. Block them, delete them, and distance yourself not just from them, but also from the flying monkeys and anyone still tied to their web. If not now, then when? If you've already done the work, researching, watching hours of videos, journaling, meditating, maybe even going through therapy or talking to someone who truly understands narcissistic abuse, what are you still holding on to? You've survived sleepless nights, the trauma bond, maybe even your own dark night of the soul. You've come this far. Why leave even one door open for them to slither back in? Because that's what they do. They'll sneak back in when you least expect it. They'll blame you, guilt you, play nice for a moment, love bomb you, or dangle little glimpses of euphoria, just enough to lower your guard. And once you let them back in, their goal is always the same, to finish what they started. That's the cycle. That's who they are. Understand this. Narcissists don't see people as radiant souls with light, love, and purpose. They see people as resources. You have empathy, depth, love, commitment, growth, resilience, all the things they lack. Inside them is a bottomless void, an emptiness they can't fill on their own. And so, they feed off others. That's why they need constant supply, constant manipulation, constant control. One of their favorite tricks is to suggest friendship. Hey, we can still be friends, right? What's the big deal? We can talk, hang out, maybe you could help me out here and there. You could spot me some money, cover a bill, give me a ride, maybe even help with the kids. And before you know it, you're right back in the cycle, giving while they take, and take, and take. That's why the answer has to be no. No to friendship, no to contact, no to the never-ending cycle. The sooner you cut them out, the sooner you start to heal and reclaim your light. And that's where real freedom begins.